guest has dedicated her life to teaching kids, making sure they stay in school and graduate. But here's the thing, she's not actually a teacher. She's the program director for the Greentree-Teutonia Community Learning Center in Milwaukee. It's an organization that provides free tutoring and after-school enrichment for underserved kids. The kids call her Miss Vicki, and she joins us today. Give it up for Miss Vicki. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate everything you're doing for your community. It's amazing, the domino effects you won't even ever see, you know, of all the ripples you're creating. Your center is an anchor for the community, right?
Correct. The Greentree-Teutonia Community Learning Center is in the middle of low-income housing. We house 328 units of apartments and approximately 700 residents.
Wow.
So we do have a large service area. Yeah. Our executive director, Reverend Carmen Porco, had a vision. And that vision included, if you're living in low-income housing, that's not the deterrent, right? That living in low-income housing, he wanted to make sure we had services that were available for our residents. So
access and opportunity.
Absolutely. And 27 years I've been doing it, or 28, one or the other.
Yeah.
And it's been working out pretty good.
Oh my God. The center doesn't just benefit kids though, right?
Correct, correct. Well, we try to take a holistic approach, and that would be making sure that parents are included as well. When we have programs, Kelly, I tell them, don't send your children, bring your children, so that we make sure that there's that interaction.
Yeah.
We are also able to have parents, if they want to learn how to use the computers, if they want to take GED classes so they can get their education, job training, resume writing, you know, all of those types of things.
You
so
serve the whole family.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because with parents and children alike, you have to make sure that, I don't know, that you make sure that the parent is taken care of as well. Because children suffer a lot because they don't really have that kind of stability. If the parent is stable, then it's much easier for us to make sure that children are as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Then consistency enters the game. So you say that you are a beast for education, right?
Kelly, I'm a beast about education.
Yeah.
And it's important. And I never want the children or the parents to lose sight of that. Reading is important. Math is important. And I've had a few students over the years that are maybe not as happy with Miss Vicki, but I've had them come back and tell me.
I was like, those end up being our favorite teachers.
Well, they did tell me that, you know, they have.
Push because you know we're capable of more.
Absolutely, absolutely. That if it's important, then we want you to have a plan, right? Because if you don't have your education, what will you do?
Yeah.
I think we're at a point right now where you always see children with their telephones, their game controllers, and I don't want us to be comfortable with that. It's okay.
Honestly, we're at a point where we see adults with that.
Well, that's a problem too. But I guess my thinking would be, instead of us being comfortable with that, I think that those types of things should be in addition to. But what happened to the times when we would see little girls with dolls, right?
Yeah.
Little boys with airplanes. And what about kids walking around carrying a little book?
Yeah.
You know, we'd like to see that.
Yeah.
So,
And prize it as well.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, you say you won't give up on a single student. No one is unreachable, right?
Right. Well, I've had some challenging ones.
Yeah.
You know, I've had to ask a few to take a little vacation from us if the behavior has not been what we expect, because we do have a standard.
Yeah.
And I never ask us to lower the standard. I don't care if you're an A student. I don't care if you're a C student. I want to see the effort. And I think I've had fantastic staff, teachers, interns, who all are on the same page. You know, the vision is that we want to make sure that the student knows that they are family, that their family knows that they are taken care of, and that we're always going to be there for them.
Yeah. Oh. And it's a privilege to have people helping you and the access to that. So to respect that.
Absolutely.
So why you have to have for the little vacation. I might have been a little challenging when I was younger. Joining us now is Glory, who used to attend Greentree. Now she works for Miss Vicki, so she likes her. So you've known Miss Vicki practically your whole life.
Yes, I've been knowing Miss Vicki since I was 4 years old when I attended preschool at Greentree.
Yeah.
I don't really remember much when I was that young, but I do remember one time Miss Vicki complimented me on like my winter gear. I had like my winter hat and coat in preschool. And I just remember Miss Vicki just being so calming and just inviting like she always is, still till today.
Yeah.
And then coming from a single parent household, I'm the youngest of 5. Going to Greentree, Miss Vicki really became like my family, like a second mom. It was just extra support throughout the years, and it just felt like a second home being around her at Greentree.
Yeah, a beautiful environment, warm,
Yes.
yeah. She even helped you after you graduated, right?
Yes, so after I graduated high school, I made the decision to go to college out of state, and Miss Vicki really encouraged me. I ended up attending Clark Atlanta University, where I just graduated in the spring.
Yes, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, I got my degree in business administration, concentrating in marketing. And during my college journey, it was kind of difficult at times. Sometimes I wanted to come home. I got discouraged, and Ms. Vicki was always a call or a text away. Whenever I would reach out to her, she would encourage me, uplift me, tell me to, you know, stay strong and just stay lifted in faith. And I really appreciate her because she really helped me get through college.
Yeah. You must work all the time, because this is just one individual that's been in your life, you know? You must be working all the time.
Yeah.
I work a lot.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
but you know, Kelly, when you enjoy what you do,
Yeah.
which I do, it doesn't really seem like work. Well, there are some days, but
Yeah.
it doesn't,
Yeah.
doesn't really seem like work. So yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I enjoy what I do, and I'm here for the long run.
Oh, I love that. Do you want to say anything to Miss Vicki?
Yeah, Ms. Vicki, I just want to say thank you for everything you've been to me, everything you've been to everybody in the Greentree community, from the adults to the children. You've been there the whole way in my life, seeing me from a child growing up into an adult, and I just don't think I'd be who I am today without you in my life. So I thank you so much.
Well, Glory isn't the only person with a message of support for Miss Vicki. We received this tape message from the governor of Wisconsin as well.
Hey, Miss Vicki, this is Governor Tony Evers. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for 20 years or more that you've done work for the kids in the Milwaukee area and also their families. And so thank you, thank you, thank you. And in addition, as you know, what's best for our kids is what's best for our state. And so not only are you doing what's best for those kids, you're doing great things for the state of Wisconsin. Thank you.
That domino effect. Yeah. There's one more thing. Anyone who works as hard as Miss Vicki deserves not only recognition, but a little extra. And I think that maybe you don't take vacations a lot because you seem like you work a lot. So listen to this. Apple Vacations, experts in worldwide beach vacations and experiences, is sending you and a friend on a 4-night trip to Rio, Guanacaste in Costa Rica. This all-inclusive resort comes with multiple restaurants, lively entertainment included, activities, and more. It's gonna be awesome. Have you been to Costa Rica?
No.
Me neither. I've never been either, and I have friends that have gone, and they say it's so beautiful. It is so important what you're doing, and you're putting so much fuel into that community and fire, but it is important to refuel. So remember to take a little moment for yourself. So this is the start of that.